Good morning and welcome, or evening or afternoon or whatever time it is for you. Welcome to Fiberific Live Craft and Chat this week. Hopefully you can hear me, you can see me, all that sort of stuff. Let me know in the chat. Lots of cool chat happening in the pre-stream. You guys, I find it really distracting because I'm like, oh, what are they saying? Oh, but I've got to like do a couple of little jobs. Sally is in the chat. Sally, it's so good to see you in here. I hope you're feeling better. We've got Kathy who is in here. I'm just double checking to see if Kathy was our first chatter for today. I'm not 100% certain. But I think Kathy was right up there. She popped her in her ad skipper for 7 months. So that is awesome. If you scroll all the way to the top, Ruth Young, welcome. John has been and gone, unfortunately. John, we'll catch you next time. And Talia is here as well. So it's so awesome to see you all in the chat. This week has disappeared. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, I set up I was like setting up the pre-stream for another channel, and I was just like, I have to do Fiberifics. It's Wednesday. I've got to do the Fiberific one. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, oh, I wasted so much time today. And then I sort of sat down and realized, no, I didn't. I actually worked really hard. So there was no time wasted. It's just been a really, really busy week. Lots of appointments and, like stuff. I've got new glasses, not these ones. These are the same, but all of my other glasses are new. On what day was it? Monday? I don't know. Was it Monday? No, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday because I had other appointments. And I went and picked all my glasses up on Tuesday. And because the prescription was the same for my driving glasses, I just threw on the new driving glasses because my old ones have been gnawed on by Louis, so they're not exactly comfortable. So I was like, whew, get those on. But when you get new glasses, or those of you that have glasses, you get new glasses and you have to allow for like the differences. Because I was like, oh yeah, new glasses, same script, no worries. I didn't even think about it. And then I ended up like this little cracking headache. And I was just like, I wonder where my headache has come from. Like a donkey. Work that out. So in my cup today, I have coffee. What do you have in your cup? Lots of people jumping in and saying hello. All that sort of stuff. Ruth has finished. Hang on. Have you finished? Or is it what you're working on? Ruth is working on her TL Yarns Crafts Daydream shawl done in Heartland yarn on an 8mm Tunisian hook. Nice work. I saw the photo in the fun zone. That is looking awesome. I'm assuming you're enjoying it. Over in the fun zone, I have put today's link in. So during the conversation, if I talk about, go and put your photos in the fun zone, if we put them under the video, then we can sort of find like the pictures and the conversation match that video. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, that's what I'm trialing at the moment. We'll see if it works. So we've got Sally's got a hot mocha. Nice. Ruth has got some iced tea. Jen Deal got stuck in the ads. Well, I mean, Jen, thank you for watching the ads, but I'm sorry at the same time. Francis is still making breakfast and the kettle is on for tea. Oh, nice. Sally, Mod Extraordinaire, has dropped the link of the Fiberific Fun Zone. So if you don't know what the Fiberific Fun Zone is, it is where we continue this conversation throughout the week. You can add in your photos. You can pop in what you're working on. We talk about all sorts of stuff over there as well. So absolutely make sure you go and join. It's free. All you have to do is add in the answers to the questions that are very difficult. They're so hard. Do you like yarn? That's pretty well a yes, no question. And I think there was like a how much do you like yarn? And also, do you promise not to spam things in the chat? That's about it. They're very simple questions. If you don't answer the questions, you won't be allowed in. You'll sit not in the group limbo. Good morning, Deb. Oops, I clicked Deb and the chat jumped. Good morning to Deb. And Kathy has just watched last week's live today. It was a great live. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That was awesome. I always appreciate those of you that actually can't make. I mean, I super appreciate the ones that make the live. Those of you that are here right now at the same time as me, gives me someone to talk to. But I also really appreciate those of you that come back for the replay, because I understand the replay experience is different and you don't get to be involved in the conversation in the same way. But know that if you comment in the normal comments area, I will jump in and reply. I won't leave you hanging. So, just keep that in the back of your mind as well for those of you on the replay. Sally says, I'm hoping this hot mocha will warm me up. Feeling a little chill in the air this morning. It's just humid and gross here. Like, it's a bit cooler. I mean, I put a long sleeve t-shirt on, but it's not exactly, like, I don't know. It's not exactly cold. Bub says, I'll be lurking today as I have the mustering team arriving. Oh, that's awesome, Bub. That means there's going to be some work going on. Jen, yes, all the time. Yes, like every day. Does anyone rewatch stuff from years past on TV? I'm stuck in an old series. Let's throw a poll in the field, because I've got a feeling a lot of us do this. And I'm just reaching over for the keyboard. Oh, hello, keyboard. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Do you? I'm going to make it a poll. Does anyone rewatch old TV series? Yes or no? Ask the community. Yes, the answer for me is a hard yes. I rewatch old series all of the time, and some of them are super old. Some of them are like 1990s. I mean, that's not super old, is it? That makes me feel old just saying that. Anyway, like Blue Heelers, like tragic Australian television. I get sucked into rewatching that every now and again. And that was back in the day when like a TV series like Blue Heelers had 40 episodes a year. Like, these guys worked. I look at what's coming out now and I'm like, oh, yes, the next series of such and such has got 10 episodes. And it's like, I get it. I understand why. And it means that actors of different calibers can sign up, because movie actors can commit to that length of time. You know what I mean? I get it. But I kind of miss the whole an episode a week for most of the year, like 20 or even 20 episodes. Like, I love 20 and 22 episode series. Like all the Star Treks are 22 episodes and Supernatural was 22 episodes. Like all of those shows that I loved were longer, and you felt like you got just so much more time with the characters. I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing for me. So let's have a look. Like, I mean, you guys know I can just keep talking. Vanthia, good morning. And Stacy, how are you? Mel says, I'm just started watching ER. It's so old, but not really. Yeah, exactly. Actually, my Abby has just started watching Grey's Anatomy, which I think might still be airing. I don't know, but it's been going for 15 or 16 years and she's just starting it. So, yeah. Oh, hang on. We got crafty news here. Rebecca finally got her spindle last Thursday. I already spun and plied the fluff that came with it. Love the spindle. That's your Lair of the Bearded Dragon one, isn't it? Because their spindles are divine. I am obsessed. I absolutely love their spindles. Northern Exposure and Gilmore Girls. Do you know what? Like, everyone sit down and take a deep breath. I never got into Gilmore Girls, and I tried to rewatch some episodes when they were rebooting it or bringing it back, whatever it was that they did, and I just could not get into it. My brain just was just like, nah, this isn't for us. No. I was just like, far out. There we go. Hubby and I are currently rewatching the West Wing series possibly for the 10th time. I couldn't tell you how many times I've watched West Wing. I absolutely love West Wing. Leanne needs a late note. Good morning, Leanne. Vampire, absolutely. Babylon 5, MASH. Like, seriously, who hasn't watched a rerun of MASH? Didn't MASH only actually run for like 2 or 3 years or something? But it just feels like I was always watching episodes of MASH. It was just insane. Like, if it's on, I'll watch it. Caroline says, I've watched Fiberific from 4 years ago. I mean, thanks. But yeah, that's awesome. I'll just keep like cool. Rewatch old series or watch old series for the first time. I'm working my way through the original Star Trek for the first time. I think we mean rewatching something we've already seen, but I mean, it's always awesome to watch old series for the first time as well, something new for you. Love that. Crafting. We've got crafting talk. I finished my massive spinning project. It's plied and washed and waiting for me to figure out what I'm going to do with it. That was such a huge project. That was such a huge project. Here we go. Dolores just rewatched Gilmore Girls. Not sure if I admit it, but I used to love rewatching McLeod's Daughters. McLeod's Daughters was not bad. Like I don't think I caught every episode, and I didn't always see the story arcs, but I actually enjoyed it. Artsec says it's almost time to rewatch Supernatural again. I started rewatching it again, and I'm currently in season 8, I think 8. I'm like halfway through. But I do this thing, and I think I've mentioned this before, and it's sad of me, and I understand that it's sad of me, but when I know something is finished and I can't let it be finished in my heart, I don't watch the end episodes. I skip the last few episodes. So I can't do it. I have never watched the end of Chuck. I've no idea what happens other than the fact that over the years, the reading I've done has said that the fans hated the end of Chuck. And then I was watching an interview on the Inside of You podcast, which I really, really love. But I was watching an interview there with Zachary Levi, and he said he's been working on trying to get a movie of Chuck done, like the next, what happened next kind of thing. So I would definitely have to sit down and watch the end of it to watch the movie. And so that would, I don't know, would that make me sad? Probably. I don't know. And like, I haven't watched the last episodes of Supernatural either. So I can't. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. Supernatural is on, I'm watching it on Prime, I think. But I think it's also on Netflix. I think it's in a couple of places. Sally said that she hadn't gotten past season 5 on Supernatural. The last episode is a must watch of Supernatural. Like, the end. How is that a must watch? That's not a must watch. That's a can never watch. But they've been greenlit. The Supernatural prequel series has been greenlit. So it's the story of Dean and Sam's parents, narrated by Dean. So that will be cool when that comes out. So that news came out this week or last week. They've done there's a couple of things. Misha Collins, who plays Cass in that show, is also signed up to play Two-Faced in Gotham Knights, and that's been signed on for a series as well. So that's, there's some cool stuff happening. Cool stuff happening in the world. I'm glad the actors still have work and that they weren't typecast, because that's always a massive concern. Like, people get, like, your brain is just like, this actor is this person and I can't see them as anything else. I have that problem with Bradley Cooper. I absolutely cannot stand Bradley Cooper, which I hate saying because I think he's a phenomenal actor, and this is why. Because he played a cheating husband in and was like horrible in what movie was that? It was like some big road movie. He's not that into you. and he played this terrible character. And every time I see him, my brain goes, cheater. And I know it was acting. I understand, but I'm really glad that for Rocket Raccoon that he is just the voice, and the voice doesn't do it; it's his face. So more voiceover work for Bradley Cooper. Knitspin Girl says, watching the last episodes of a favorite series means it's really over, and if I don't watch it, it means it isn't really over. I'm the same. I don't watch the last episodes because then it's always not quite finished. I don't want that closure. I love when the series finishes well and we're left not asking too many questions, if any. But how often is a series actually finished well? Like, who here watched, because you guys know I'm a Star Trek nerd, who here watched the Voyager series ending? Worst ending ever. Hated it. Was so annoyed at that ending. I thought, this can't be the end. This is trash. They can't leave us with this steaming pile of nothing. It was just like, oh. So yeah, it puts me off. Artsog has all the Supernatural on DVD. He rewatches it every year or two. Go Artsog. I do that with Babylon 5. I've got it all on DVD and I just kick back and watch it over and over again. And my husband's like, he'll pull out a DVD out because I just watch him through the PlayStation. He'll pull out a DVD and he'll be like, which series are you up to now? And finds the spot for it. Ruth's daughter watches Perry Mason and Mayberry. Is this I remember when I was at school, I would watch the black and white Perry Mason episodes and I loved those. Here we go. I don't often watch Western TV shows these days. K-dramas and animes for me mostly. Well, Josie, is it harder for you to get your hands on the Western television now that you're in Japan? Jen lives 20 minutes from Mayberry. Awesome. I start a series and stop watching halfway through. I get bored and it's real hard to get back into it. There are some series that are like that for me. But yeah. And I was watching, what was it? NCIS NOLA. So the New Orleans episodes. And I don't know where I'm up to. I'm in the last season. I'm right near the end of the season, but I know I'm not at the end of the season. But in my brain, that was the end. This was an amazing, happy episode. And I just he'd just been through so much. I'm like, I am not watching the next couple of episodes because they are going to turn that amazing day into a dumpster fire and then end it. So yeah, cannot do it. I bought 21 Jump Street. Me and my son watch it all of the time together. See, this is the thing. So I'm just having a look here at the poll. 22 votes. How many? So we're going to leave the poll up for a little bit longer. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you look in the live chat at the top, there'll be a poll. You can answer the questions. And then I will pop the poll response out. But yeah, so it's just one of those things I think most people do. I think it's a comfort thing. And especially as crafters, having something that we've watched before means that we can work without worrying we're missing something. Because how many times have you sat there like this through a show? Hang on, I'll just drop this. Where you're just your craft is in your hand, but you're so soaked into what you're watching that your hands aren't moving. You're not doing anything. Whereas when you rewatch our old shows that we love or shows that you've seen before, you find that you can look down and you can, go, look up and you don't feel like you're missing anything. Or if you know something cool's about to happen, you can be like, I'll just yep, right. I'm at this. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then move back on again. Let's have a look here. Josie says, no, I use Netflix a lot. I think my taste in TV has just changed over time. Last Western TV show I watched was Game of Thrones, but it was super disappointing. I heard that a lot of people didn't like the ending. I never got into Game of Thrones. I'm one of these sci-fi fantasy nerds who did not get into Game of Thrones. I couldn't get past season 1. And my husband, who doesn't normally get into these shows, loved it. Like, absolutely loved it. Like, when it first started, he was actually, because he needed to catch up, he was just like, can you acquire those episodes for me? Which is what we call the bad thing, where you get the episodes when you're not supposed to have them. And I was just like, isn't it on though? Can't you rewatch the old episodes? He was like, I can't get these ones. And I was like, righto. So I got them for him, because we made a deal, which was years ago. I used to do that evil law breaking all the time. But once Australia started getting actual streaming services, like once we got Netflix finally, I was just like, okay, no more. We've got much more choice now. We don't need to do this. So yeah, it is. But I still have the skills. So, but we're trying to do it. Although every now and again I'm tempted. I'm like, dude, I want to watch this thing. Why it's not on any of these? Like, I have just about every Australian streaming service except for Stan, I think. Oh, and Acorn and like some of the other smaller ones. I suppose I don't have all of them. I've got a handful. And I'm like, if I can't find something to watch on all of those, there's a problem. But every now and again, I'm like, I really just want to watch this thing. And it's normally something I've rewatched and I love. I tend to like rewatching Gerard Butler movies. Let's move on. Okay, we've got 29 votes out of 39 viewers. So we're just gonna, like, I'll give it another minute. Francis says it annoys me when my husband puts on an SBS movie and it's really enjoyable, but subtitles, I know, I love subtitles so much, except for when I need to craft something. Sally says there's a new Game of Thrones series coming out in August. That's the prequel, right? Yes, I think that there was, yeah, that's agreed. I think that's a popular opinion right there. Then we've got most of the stuff I watch is subtitled. Fair enough. Fair enough. Francis says there's an Italian crime show I love, but I just can't stream it here. Well, we're going to do something here I would not normally do, but I will for today. Hi, Leon. We have, last season was bad. Also, I can't explain it, but I'm able to watch anime with subtitles and knit at the same time. But if I focus on that, I can't do it. So yeah, I can see that. And Chintami says that she even has the subs on for the English shows. Really? Why is that? Like, is it just because sometimes they speak too fast, or you're just so used to having the subtitles on that it's just like, I'll just have the subtitles on? I mean, I quite often will have the subtitles on YouTube videos. I don't know why. I just do. Sometimes they just automatically pop up and I'm just slack, so I don't put them back down again. And then other times I'm like, what did they say? And I can't quite see it. Yeah. House of Dragons. So that's the prequel. So, okay, Leon, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. We'll keep an eye on that one, mods. Josie says, I know some people are able to read books and knit at the same time. I was watching a how to spin, what was the tutorial for? How to spin cotton, I think it was. And she read books while she spun the cotton. No, it wasn't cotton, it was lace. And she spun and she read books while she was spinning. And I was sort of just like, look, I'm pretty good at spinning, but I don't know. I think I need to look. I honestly think I need to at least look some of the time. So yeah, it was just a bit weird. Chintami says, I want to knit and walk at the same time. I used to crochet and walk on the treadmill. I've got a friend who knits socks while she walks. It's a skill I do not have. And I used to crochet on the on the exercise bike as well, because I had the one that you could sit back a bit better on for bad backs. So it made it a bit easier. But I don't know. I just found it hard to concentrate because I'm like, you know, getting my cardio in. I wasn't going on a little ride. I realized this is silly. Don't crochet while I do that. Wait, Frances says that she can read while spinning. And Chintamani says the same thing, that she can read while spinning as well. Gosh. Game Widow says that I've spun or knitted whilst reading. Ebooks are better than physical books. So, yeah, because you won't have to hold them open. But that was the thing. She had like this big hardcover book in her lap that she was reading. I'm blown away. But it'd be a practice thing, right? Those of you that can do it. I mean, I can't do it. But those of you that can do it, it would be a practice thing, right? Chintamani says, where is it? I also want to learn. I also want to knit without looking, but I sucks at it. Yeah. It is. Yeah. And do you know what, Josie? I'm the same. I used to be an avid reader. Like I would knock over 4 novels a week. Like, who needs sleep? I'm sucked into this story right now. You know, catch the train, read a book. But I don't commute anymore, so that's probably a big part of it. But I really found that I just don't read as much anymore, like Dead Tree editions. I do tend to read digital books, or I tend to listen to a lot of audiobooks, and on all different topics as well. So I get audiobooks on business stuff, on craft stuff, just fiction, just so many different things. For me, it comes down to the speaker of the book. I love a good, like, I like someone who can just, it was definitely, I like a good voice for stories, and not everybody on Audible has a good voice for stories, let me tell you. Just need to use an ebook on a raised stand. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely easier using, like, I think I could read easier on my iPad than trying with a book, honestly. Francis says, I can't crochet without looking. So, yeah. Last year, my kid was knitting whilst reading in remote learning class. I was impressed. There you go. I learned something new about you, Chantel. Star Trek, for those into sci-fi, early 70s, early 1970s, definitely cult following from the makers of Thunderbird, but using real people. I think I've missed part of this. Yes, I am a tragic Star Trek fan. I have been since I was a little kid. Probably has something to do with the fact that my mum and dad are Star Trek tragics. But yeah, any sci-fi, love good sci-fi. I love all things Star Trek, and I will even give the less than good things a pass just because it's Star Trek. I am legit biased. I've been loving to pieces how much amazing Star Trek content we have on the available right now. I'm like, oh, there's so much. Yeah, Picard's been fantastic. Strange New Worlds is unbelievably good. Discovery is hit and miss for me, but I have to give Discovery kudos. Without Discovery, we wouldn't have gotten Picard, and we wouldn't have gotten Strange New Worlds. So while Discovery may not be my favorite, because of it, I got ones that are my favorites. So it gets a pass. So yeah, loving it. Just loving how much stuff we're getting at the moment. And again, it's the whole short seasons, so we get to have more because there's shorter seasons and the actors aren't getting burnt out and the networks aren't having to, you know, fork out. So yes. Gamer Widows says Deep Space Nine excuse me, wasn't a hit with me. It didn't go anywhere. Look, I like Deep Space Nine because it was different. Yeah. And when they started going through the wormhole more, I enjoyed it more. But yeah, it was a lot more stuff coming at them. And that was okay too, because it was new for Star Trek viewers. Kerry is planning a trip around Australia, so I'm buying all the travel books. That is awesome. That's so important. When I first got into audiobooks, I found a lot of American accents very jarring. And I agree with you. I do tend to prefer either the less, like some audiobooks that I get have actually got voice actors doing the reading. Love those. Absolutely love them. Like proper, like they can do the good characters. And I just think that's amazing. But there are some accents, and it's not even so much the type of accent, it's just the tone of their voice. For me, it's all about the voice tone. And when I'm talking to people in real life, it's the same problem. If someone's got a really flat tone, I am out. I'm like bored, can't listen to what you're saying. My brain cannot engage with you. You are boring. Needs to have like tonality. It needs to tell the story and wax lyrical and go up and down and, you know, be louder and quieter. And, you know, like they've got to do the job. They're not reading a book to put a 4-year-old to sleep. Like there's definitely, I've done that. Has anybody in the chat ever done that to kids? They won't go to sleep and they want one more story. So you read it in the most monotone, boring language that has zero passion and zero tonality, and just keeps reading it until they finally your voice just drones off and they go to sleep. Like I used to do that all the time because I'm like, oh my God, no more books. You've had 4. But yeah, I'm so picky. I know. It's all good. I understand how picky I am when it comes to audiobooks. I get it. I totally get it. Oh my gosh. I'm just reading the chat. Sometimes the narrators for audiobooks have weird cadence or speech patterns that I find distracting. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure. Because I come across stuff all the time. You would have hated one of my science teachers, a monotone king. He would have sent me to sleep. He would have legit sent me to sleep. I had an English teacher who did it. And I actually, I got sent to the student counselor because they thought maybe there was a health problem because I dozed off in her class all the time. No health problem. You're just boring. And I just can't. I can't keep my eyes open. I'm trying. I just can't. You're just putting me to sleep. I'm a huge fan of Worf. Yeah. I mean, and like some people definitely thought that. I hate when they mispronounce words. It's so grating and throws me. Oh, tell me about it. There's an audio book. It's one of the books, because you guys know I listen to the same series of audiobooks over and over and over again because it's what I put in my earphones when I'm sleeping. And it is just, there's a word. Oh, which word is it? He uses it every now and again. Anyway, there was a word, and I'm like, maybe I've been saying it wrong because because I've heard him say it like a zillion times now. And I looked it up and I was like, no, he's got it wrong. He's got it wrong. I can't remember what the word is. My brain won't let me know which of the words it was that's wrong. So yeah, Wolf is amazing. Absolutely. There's so much good stuff out there. There's so much. Look at us, a big bunch of TV nerds. All right, let's end this poll. We have 32 votes. Ending the poll. Just waiting for the data. You guys will probably see it before me. Control C. Control V. StreamYard doesn't let me bring in the poll information as just a normal comment, so I made a banner for you. Old TV series, rewatching, 90% yes, 9% no. There we go. That's most of us. That really is most of us, rewatching and rehashing old things that we love just for enjoyment. We think it's rounding area, Kerry, because we've noticed it a couple of times and just about never adds up properly. So I think it's a rounding error. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's hide that. Lots of recommendations coming in for Kerry's trip. That sounds so exciting. Okay, I've got to move some stitch markers. I moved a couple and then forgot. Now, guys, I know some people don't like that term. Everyone, I didn't get any crochet done this week. I've just been working really hard and not just on like work, but I've been like going to the doctors and doing some stuff that the doctor told me to do and lots of appointments and just trying to get on top of some things. Nothing scary, just, you know, stuff, nothing particularly interesting, but yeah, just, you know, keeping on top of all the things. And so the last couple of weeks has just been a bit, you know, busy just with stuff. I've done a lot of driving in the last couple of weeks. Probably more driving in the last couple of weeks than I've done in the last few months in total. So that's been fun. I'm so glad to get my sunglasses back. It's been very difficult with all the driving and no sunglasses because Louis chewed them beyond wearable. Because it's technically it's my own fault that Louis could chew them up because I left them where he could get them. Like they were on the coffee table next to where I sit when I come home. I sort of plopped down and was talking to Tim and took them off and put them on the coffee table. And Louis just, I must have forgot they were there because next thing you know, I can hear the of Louis gnawing on plastic. Where is the little boy? He's gone somewhere. I hope he's not just, is he? Now that I've said it, I'm like, oh God, I hope he's not destroying something. This morning he chewed up my ChowGoo needle gauge. Lucky I've got a couple of those, all I can say. I'll put UFO on your watch list. I get it now, NYC Prince. Thanks, Mark. UFO on your watch list on YouTube. Galactica, the second series, made years later, to Battlestar Galactica is good, and Stargate the film. Oh yeah, I love all the Stargates. They've actually started bringing out like Stargate prequels. What are they calling them? They're calling origin stories, and they've been they're a bit naff, but they're good. They're still good. I'm definitely watching it. Driving without sunglasses sounds impossible. Look, yeah, it's not ideal. Like driving into the sun in Australia without your sunglasses on, I don't recommend. But you know, it was either that or not drive. So I went with the no sunglasses. Kerry's got some news. So she's gotten into a clinical trial for her HS. I'm not sure what that is, but I am excited for you. And I think that will be awesome that you have gotten in. I think, yeah, I do. Sorry, I should read that and not scroll at the same time. But yes, I think it's amazing because getting into some of those trials, nightmare, absolute nightmare. So have I asked what you guys are all working on while we chat? I'm not sure if we have. I may have gotten in and started straight in with the whinging about something or other. It's like, this is me, right? So let me know in the chat. What are you sitting down and working on at the moment? I know not everybody's working on anything, and some people are lurking while they do other things or while they're at work and things like that. I get you can't jump in. It's understandable. Oh, that's a good reminder to pack my sunglasses when I visit Australia at Christmas. That's awesome. Yeah, that is an excellent reminder. Definitely don't forget them. Hey, Diane, good to see you again. Welcome back to the chat. Yes, it was a nightmare, and I'm working on tea towels. Nice. I'm making mohair cloud bow pullover. It's so pretty and knit fast. Josephine, who jumps in our chats here, she made a love note in a week. And I was just like, what? You guys are insane. You're so fast. Angela, it's good to see you in the chat. I've fallen in love with making Japanese knot bags. That is awesome. Chintami says, I'm surrounded by UFOs and I can't decide. Spindle, socks, spindle. Sounds like spindle is the winner. Although you've got a lot of hand spun yarn you need to use, right? Like, I'm just going to put that out there, like public, like get some of your hand spun out and make yourself something out of it. You've already spun it. Make something beautiful. Francis says, I'm weaving the one scarf for a show next week in purple tones. Nice. That is awesome. Working on my Mary Baker sampler cross stitch. It's been so long since I've cross stitched. I love cross stitch. I find it to be one of those, it's like when people like they look at knitting and go, that's slow craft. It's like, no, dude, no, it's not. Cross stitch is slow craft. Like cross stitch for me, because I'm not super fast, depending obviously on what I'm working on, but I average about an inch an hour, like a square inch an hour. And that depends on what I'm working on. And if it's super complex, it's even longer. So yeah. Yeah, I really need to use the yarns. Yeah, you do. Josephine says, I'm matching invoices to work credit cards. Yay. That's exciting. I'm trying on my bead weaving to exercise my broken wrists. So glad for a reason to start using the needle again. Nice. How are your wrists going? Like that's been hard for you, just like 2 broken wrists at the same time. Seriously. I don't know how you did it. I hurt one hand. I mean, my right hand, admittedly, and I'm right-handed, and it was out of action for months. That was bad. But yeah, I can't imagine both at the same time. Lurking while working. Awesome. Jumper and beanies for the grandies. Gotta love that. I did start a Charlotte's Universe a few weeks ago. That is awesome, Sally. Are you enjoying it? I know you're not. I know you don't do it while you're on the live streams, but are you enjoying working on the Sophie's on the Charlotte's Universe? I haven't made one. I've done this, the Charlotte's Dream. Is that what this one is behind me? I can't remember. Charlotte's. I don't know. I'm such a good crocheter. I know all the things. And that was like a joint venture with Joss. But Charlotte's Dream, I want to say, but I've seen the Charlotte's Universe and it looks amazing. But I have to finish what I'm working on. Spin Girl says, I'm working on yet another sock. Awesome. Allison, hey, good to see you in the chat. I'm sorting out my hand-dyed skeins for our local wool fair. I've seen the ads. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I too have a few whips, but I'm wanting something new to start. I think my whips are big projects and I need something small to do. You and me both, Leanne. You and me both. But I know if I start something small, then I'll put this down. And like, I'm still waiting. Like you guys, like I'm down to like the last, like this ball is getting really sad. It's like totally flat now. It's like, this is it. I'm waiting on the yarn to come from Knit Picks. It has been released from Brisbane Airport. It is in the hand of the third-party carrier for a week. So I'm just a bit annoyed because it's like not more than half an hour, 40 minutes away. I could go and get it myself, but they won't let you. Nope. I just want the yarn. And I am a little worried. I've been crocheting a little bit slower because I know, and this is going to sound so dumb, okay? It's going to sound dumb. I know myself, okay? I know if I finish off this purple yarn, do the next row or whatever it is until I can't do any more, and I pack it up and put it aside until the rest of the yarn arrives, I'm going to get started on something else. And then I'm going to be, I'm going to struggle to come back to it. And we're on the second half. We're so much closer to finished. But Yeah, so I'm just working slower, just so I don't run out of yarn before the new yarn arrives. That's sad, right? I get it. It's so sad. I'm doing it all in one color. Ooh, because that's my biggest issue with a lot of those. Oh, what's the name? Just a lot of those that designers work is she picks such amazing colors, and I can't get that many usually. So yeah, my left was a clean break. My left hand break was a clean break. The right break had surgery, a plate, 9 screws, but it's all good. And I was able to do some editing today. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. Absolutely. Bub is working on a gnome or a gnome for those people that actually speak properly English. I'm working on a chai latte. Cheers. Whilst weaving up some scrappy handspoons. Nice. Maybe everyone could share their current projects over in the fun zone. We'd love to see them. Leanne, that is an excellent suggestion. And she's dropped the link. So go into the fun zone and find today's video. It should be the top post. It's not pinned, but it should be up there somewhere. And pop in pics of what you're working on if you can. Even just a little quick mobile pic or something. It doesn't have to be flash. Just so I can have a look at what you're working on. You guys always get to see what I'm working on. I feel your pain and frustration. Thanks, Rebecca. I've been waiting for a parcel to reach my parents in Brisbane. It's been just under 2 months, so I think it should arrive in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. Abby ordered something from an Australian company that was made in Australia that was shipped a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Its original shipping day should have been Monday. And every day she's like, is my thing there? Is my thing at home? I'm like, no, it's not, Abby. I will send you a message the second it arrives. Honest, I promise I will. Gnomies are super cute. Yes, they are. Selecting sock yarn to make a crank to take to a crank in this weekend. Is that like somewhere where someone's got the cranking like sock machines, or am I reading too much into that? I don't need more hand knit socks, but I seem to be unable to stop making them. I brought another container to put them in. Each one holds 16 pairs, and I now have 4, and they are full. I mean, you can always make me socks. Like I'll just throw that out there. Size 7 ladies. I tend to do a 72 on the cuff, and then narrow it down to a 64 for the rest of the foot. Yeah? No? Okay. Working on the last row of the temperature blanket and the attic. Oh, I can't wait to see more photos, Kathy. You do such the most beautiful blankets, and so many, and so fast. Oh, I do love the project you're working on. The colors are so good. Oh, thank you, Diane. Sorry, I had to think about it. I was going to say fasting keto coach, but I know your name's Diane. We are loving this. We are loving this as well. We can do it. We can do a thing. Desk view. Oh, not. Huh. No, desk view camera is out. That was working yesterday. Why are you not working now? Perplexing. I can't show you more. Maybe I just need to jiggle the cord. I don't know. That's perplexing. It was working yesterday. I should have tested it this morning, but I didn't. Bendigo Wool Mills got my first to me in under a week. Yeah, sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're slow for Bendy. It depends on the shipping. It doesn't depend on Bendy. Oh yes, it is. It's a gathering of circular sock knitting machine enthusiasts. Awesome. Josie says, I'm spoiled by the post service here in Japan. You can often designate the time for them to deliver, and they'll even re-deliver to your house. Ozpost seems to be good or bad depending on your area. At the moment, and I'm exceptionally frustrated, and then I read a thing. our local, the courier who has the contract for our area is actually looking for more staff. So I have a feeling they are just well backlogged and they don't have enough people to actually deliver all the things. So I'm a bit like, that's awesome. I still want my parcels because I'm waiting on stuff as well. Abby's waiting on stuff. I'm waiting on stuff. She's just that bit more impatient than I mean, I'm impatient. I want my yarn, but the other stuff will just come when it comes. It's like whatevs. But it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, oh, how much extra will it be if I use a courier service instead of the post? Because, you know, I want the stuff. Like if I'm desperate for coffee, I don't order my usual coffee. I order from another company that uses a courier service that delivers it the next day. Because even with express post, you never know when you're going to get it. I'm a big addict 24 blanket fan too. Do you know what? I think they're stunning and gorgeous, and I haven't made one. I'm like, I need to make one. Her stuff is amazing, but it's another one where she uses just glorious colors, and I just am not good at the whole thing because I quite often use what's that one that I don't like? What's that yarn? You guys know what it is. The acrylic that comes in the 11 billion colors that lots of people like and I don't like. My brain, Stylecraft, Leanne to the rescue. Stylecraft, yeah. Look, and I probably need to try it again. I probably do, but I tried it once and I really just didn't like it. But they have exceptional color range. Like, it's insanely good. So, you know, just having all those color choices. Now, I love the feel of the Knit Picks Brava worsted, but it just doesn't have the color range that Stylecraft has, which is so disappointing for me. I mean, admittedly, this is also worsted and Stylecraft is DK. But yeah, a lot of designers of big blankets and stuff use Stylecraft, and I think Deirdre Uss does as well. No, she's a sheepies designer, so she tends to use the sheepies colors. I like some sheepies. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I like the sheepies, scare bears, or however they say it. Oh, Sally jumped in with Stylecraft as well. Good morning, Amelia. How are you going? So yeah, we're nearly at the end of this row. I should, where do I change colors? Oh, I don't change colors for ages. I might need to double check that. That feels like a lot. Hello, little thing. Go over there. All right. There we go. But yeah, so like, do you have a favorite like yarn that has a good range of colors? Like, let me know in the chat. Like, even if you're a Stylecraft fan, let me know. And if you think I should try it again, because the Stylecraft I tried was easily 5 years ago, or the yarn that I tried was easily 5 years old, I should say. Yeah. What is the finished size of the blanket that you are working on? So, that's an excellent question. The pattern, if I was working to the pattern, would be a queen size bed. A European queen size bed, I would say. So 2 meters, which I don't know what that is in the feet. If someone can throw in what that is, but like a European queen size bed. But I know that the different beds around the world are different sizes. So I measured my queen size bed, and I didn't want it to just sort of, you know, just sit on the top. I wanted it to just come over the sides just a little. And then I also used bigger yarn. So I probably shouldn't have added the extra repeats and made bigger yarn, because I needed it to be sort of 2.1, 2.2 meters, just to dangle over the sides, just a little, just to, you know, drape over the edges, because our bed is on a wooden frame and I wanted it to come and cover the mattress and get to the wood, because I thought that would look beautiful, which it will. The catch being, the wood section is only about this deep, and now I think that this is going to be so wide it's just going to cover the wood. So it's so far it's around 2.2 meters. I actually think it's a little wider. I have to measure it again. This is a 1.8 meter, 1.6. Let me see. So that's one. Yeah, so it's a 1.6 meter wide desk. The blanket's way wider than the desk. So why I did this is because I know that from this fingertip to this shoulder, so this distance, so from here to here is a meter, because I measured it. And I like to know where on my body a meter is. So here we go. Here. Oh, I'll just trim off on the ground. That's 1 meter. Two meters plus this bit more. So yeah, probably still at around the 2.2, 2.25 meters before the border. So there's still a border to put on. Come here, little hook. I just whacked my head into something. Okay. So yeah, so it's about 2 points. It's going to be enormous. Is the answer? It's going to be huge. It's going to be so big. Way too big, I think. But yeah. Francis says no favorites, dislike acrylic. Yeah, I do tend to use a lot of cotton. I'm in Queensland, it's subtropical. But I'm just wondering what other people's acrylic friends are. So yeah, fiddlesticks. I don't mind the fiddlesticks cotton. So I would be curious to see what their acrylic is like. Better than being too small? Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It's definitely better than being too small, for sure. Oh, here we go. Paintbox, DK and Aaron, not as many colors as SSDK. So that's Stylecraft DK. Hang on, where's my cover up the white, because my white balance is off and this is the way to hide it. Technical stuff going on here. Lovecraft, so but some good colors. Yeah, see, I feel the same way about the paintball, the Brava worsted. I like how it feels. I like how it launders, but just as not as many good colors. It was handy. The where is the 1 meter mark on your body. I've used it several times. So we did it in a Zoom a while, like ages back, where we all got tape measures out and measured where 1 meter was from your fingertip to whichever part of your body. Some people it's just here. I'm like, dudes, no, I have to go all the way across to the other side of my body for that. But it's just a good way to get a rough idea of like fabric and things like that. So, you know, but yeah, it's definitely a little handy trick. I may have also been known to stand up against a wall and work it out how wide a wall is. Oh, sad. It's sad. I used to love Red Heart Super Saver, but I've recently fell in love with Hobby Lobby yarns. They have great color selections. That's nice to know. I mean, I don't have a Hobby Lobby near me. Is it Hobby Lobby that are now delivering to Australia, or is it Joann's? Someone's delivering to Australia now, apparently. I mean, I haven't ordered anything. I should probably order something. We could run a test and see how long it takes to get here. The Aussie dollar is not doing fantastic at the moment, though, so maybe not right now. But yeah, just interested. I definitely prefer cottons, but there's a lot less choice of color in cotton. A lot less choice. I know a lot of people here that are Australian definitely are team Bendigo cotton. I don't mind Bendigo cotton. It's a bit thin, but it's fine. I just think, and I like some of the colors they have, I really do, but I think they could do so many more colors. And rather than taking some of the colors out of the range, just add more colors. That's my issue. Hobie is another great one. I love Hobie and Knit Picks. Sorry, it is Hobie. I checked with them. It's Hobie and Knit Picks. But I'd rather spin mine. There you go. I quite like the Hobie yarns I've received as well. They've been lovely so far. I mean, I haven't tried everything. I've tried a couple of things. I'm the same as you, Chantel. I have to cross to the other shoulder to get to the meter. Oh, Sally says that you can't even get access to the Hobby Lobby website. Access denied. What did you do? No, I'm kidding. It's probably just geo-blocked. Does Hobie have a good choice of colors? They can do. Absolutely. They can do. Like, definitely. Like, they've got like a couple of palettes, and some are better than others. So, yeah. Carrie's down the rabbit hole says I spin cotton balls from Coles and it works well. I have a friend who she made the most gorgeous top out of yarn that she'd spun from cotton balls, and she'd used the mixed color bag, you know, the soft pink and the green and the yellow, and it was just this gorgeous little slubby-ish yarn that she spun for herself, and it was so fine, but just made the most beautiful top out of something just so simple. Bendigo needs brighter colors. I agree. Yes, and I agree with you. I bought tons of their bright colors. I love them. Absolutely love them. But yeah, they don't. They have a lot more pastels and muted tones. So, the span from tip to tip of your fingers is the same as your height. I mean, I'm pretty short, so that could be right. I'll have to test that out next. I need to grab a tape measure. But that seems about right. If that's a meter to there, then that's probably another 60 centimeters. That sounds about right, because I'm like 1.63 centimeters tall, or 5'3", I think, in the Imperials. 1.63 centimeters. I don't know what that is. Someone else needs to do the math. Kerry says I love dyeing it after spinning it. Yeah. You can't seem to buy colored cotton balls anymore. Don't know why. I mean, it was an extra process, so it would cost more, and maybe people just weren't willing to spend the money. So, yeah. Bendigo cotton needs to be machine washable. You know what? I chuck mine in the washing machine. If I'm making a blanket for the couch, it has to go in the machine. Like, I am not hand washing that. It's not happening. And yeah, over time, I won't lie, it gets a little bit fluffy, but I don't care. I'll just make another one. And by over time, I'm talking 5 years of washing every few weeks. So, you know, and I shove it in the dryer too, just to throw that out there. Yeah. Oh, Sally said, so it looks like Joanne's is delivering to Australia now, which is really good to know. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Shintani says 5.3 as well. Knitspin Girl says I'm 161. That's 5.3. So maybe if I'm an extra couple of centimeters, that does make an extra inch. So maybe I'm 5'4". I could be 5'4". So much taller than I thought. Molly says I throw mine in the washing machine as well. There you go. Who was saying that? Jency. Yeah. Yeah, I throw it in the machine. Absolutely. I missed Shepherd Harvest planning on going next year. That will be fun. Pop it in your calendar to remind you. I have to put long-term stuff in my calendar so that it comes up like a couple of weeks before to remind me, so I actually double check the dates and book it in, because I just miss stuff all the time, and it's just like it's on the same weekend every year, and it's like, that's great, thanks, that's last weekend now. Allison says I want to work out a way to dye the cotton balls that I've grown, keeping the cotton in the bowl. I mean, once it's wet, it's going to go, like, you'd have to test it, But the trick is once it's wet, it's just going to go meth. So it'll stay in the bowl. But I mean, does your bowls have lots of seeds or are they seedless? So that's, well, actually, they're all got seeds. Do you pick your bowl, to pick the seeds out of your bowl, or do you want to dye the seeds as well? Yeah, that's a question. I realized the other day that I hadn't planted any of the cotton seeds that were sent to me with the green cotton. And it was because I had the chickens and they would just destroy it, right? Didn't want that. So I don't have chickens anymore. And Abby and I started a garden the other day. So I'm like, dude, we need to plant some cotton seeds. And Abby's just looking at me like, you are so weird. I thought we were planting food. And I'm like, I am planting food, but cotton's good. Oh, I'm at the end. I'm at the end of my row. Do I dye the seeds as well? Yeah. I mean, look, you're going to have to test it, really. But the big crux of it for me would be the fluff's going to get wet and just go and be not fluffy. And so, but I could see it still working. You could totally try it. Chintami, nothing evil's happened to the chickens, but over time, the chickens passed away one by one, and then the last chicken passed away a little while ago, and we decided not to replace them. Just because they are, like Fasting Keto says, they are a bit of work. And we just decided we didn't want to, like, we've realized it's very difficult for us to go on a holiday. We had 2 cats, 2 dogs, chickens, and fish. And then over the last couple of years, we've lost some pets. So we're down to 1 cat and 1 dog and some fish. So it makes it a bit easier if we want to travel. So yeah. And they you know, they had a good life. They lived for at least, most of them I think had at least 6 or 7 years with us. Not hugely long, but long enough. And yeah. And it's not to say I wouldn't get chickens again. I love having chickens. But I just need a break, I think, from having to worry about so many animals. All right. I'm at the end here. 1, 2, and then here. I saw a florist colored cotton bowls in a floral arrangement, so I was wondering how they did it. Are you talking about how it's still on the stem? Because I think what they do with those, I could be wrong. I thought that they just put it in the dye water and let the dye soak in and it came up that way. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Knitspin Girl says, when the cotton dries, it should fluff back up again. I've dyed cotton roving that looked very sad when wet, but magically fluffed when it dried. Oh, yeah. And I think it will fluff back up, but it's just a case of like, because you want to dye it, but it still be on the stick. So I'm trying to think of how you get it in the dye, be on the stick, not destroy the stick, not get dye on the stick. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. Yeah, we cruise on a regular basis, but animals makes it a bit difficult. Absolutely. Angela says, with 3 cats and 2 dogs, I have a hard time traveling. Yeah, we realized that it was what we were doing was Tim and Abby would go off and have a holiday, because they like their little trip away, their little ski trip, which I can't do, so I don't feel gypped at all. They would go off and have their fun holiday, and then come back, and then I would leave and do like Bendigo or something, which was technically a holiday for me because it was me leaving the house for a week. I'd work the whole time, but things like that, we would have like little separate holidays, and we wouldn't often get away by like with just the family, like all of us. So it's dumb, and we don't like doing that. We don't want to do that long term. So, you know, yes, I do want them to go on their ski trips by themselves. I have no interest, but I don't want to not have family holidays just because of Petsicles. We're on to our next row, you guys. Row 169, it looks like. Okay, let me check in the chat. Yeah, oh, it would look, if you could work it out, it would look amazing. It would absolutely look amazing, but I don't know how to work it out. I've never, yeah. There's actually a lot of natural colors for cotton. There's a naturally cotton green as well. I've got seeds for the green. But no, I've seen what Alison's talking about. And it's like when you buy the blue roses and things like that. It's a different color, but it's on the dried ball stem, and the different balls have different colors. Leaving the house for a week is a vacation no matter what. Yeah, I mean, I have to look at it that way, or I haven't had a vacation in a really long time. And go a little bit insane. A little insane. Rebecca says, I'm almost done. Rebecca, unfortunately, I think I have to repeat chart 5, because when I started, I had to repeat chart 1 3 times. Was it 3 times, you guys? I can't remember. I've got it written down somewhere, but I'm not onto chart 5 yet, so I haven't worried about it. But I'm nearly finished chart 4. So yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I don't want to put it down either, because I know I will just find something else to do that's fast and furious and fun. I've grown some green cotton, but that's too precious for me to sell. I understand that. I got some seeds from, my brain is showing me her face and I cannot think of it. I got a big packet of the seeds. I'll grow some and we'll try and get some fresh seeds and then we'll share them. Kathleen, I can't remember. My brain is not being my friend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 of these. I need to get my hands on some green cotton seeds. Yeah, you do. What I'll do is I'll grow some more, because these seeds I've had for a really long time and they may not be viable anymore. So I'll try and get some to grow. And then once I grow them, then I'll give you some cotton seeds out of what I grow. How's that sound? Okay, 1, 2. All right, let's go. So, oh, hang on a second. 1, 2. That's not right. One, 2, 3, 4, then 2, then 1. But if I do 3 there, that's wrong. Hang on, you guys. The colors coral, pink, navy, and yellow are exquisite. Are you talking about the colors I've got here, or are you talking about cotton colors? I'm just checking. I would assume, because like I agree with you. I think they look amazing. But yes. Chintami's in Australia. She's local to me. Alrighty. Did I trash the first of the row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to go back and just double check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1. Then 2. Then 1. Then 2. Then 1. Space 1. Okay. So that's correct. So I'm obviously just doing something wrong here. 1. 3, 4. Then 2. Then 1. 1, 2. That's wrong. My brain won't help me. I need to do 1 in here, but that's only 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2. Then 1. It wants to, the pattern says then 3, and it's not 3, it's 2, and I've obviously done something wrong. Ah. No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to putting the on the, anyway, it needs to go. It's fine. I was reading into the pattern and assuming, no, I just need to actually put it on the treble. Not, I'm thinking I had to put it on a single, not a treble, but it's got to go on the treble. So note to self, read the pattern. So then 1, then 2, then 3, and then 1. Yeah. Okay, Chantel. I think. Hang on. I'm just double checking. So that was there. All right. Yeah, we're going back out again now. Are we? We're going back in. Are we going back in? All right. Yes, it's all good. We're making a diamond. We're making a diamond, not a triangle. Oh my gosh. It's all fine. I'm fine. Josie says the hand dyed to buy, the temptation to buy all the hand dyed mohair is strong. I believe it. This coffee is ice cold. I'm still drinking it. Now that the cold weather is coming in, I want to work on everything at once so all my whips can keep me warm when they're finished. Absolutely. My concern is I don't know if this is going to fit in my, I mean, I think it will fit in my washing machine. It better fit in my washing machine. That's all I can say. Sally says I'm going to have to lurk. I have to contact my doctors. Awesome. Awesome. My fingers are crossed that you get the date you want. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sal. All right. Stop freaking out, thinking I've done the wrong thing. I didn't do the wrong thing. I did the right thing. Just move on. Just keep going. Just keep going, going, going. Don't read into the pattern. Just do the work. It's just because I assume I'm wrong. My thumb hurts. I have to hold the Tunisian hook like a knife. Me too. Me too. I find it really, because I hold my crochet hooks like a pencil when I'm working with them, but when I use Tunisian, I hold like a knife because you've got a cable on the end and it's just weird flapping it around. You've got to go, and for me, and any hooks over about 10 mils as well, I find I have to go knife method rather than pencil holding. What do you guys do? For those of you in the chat that crochet, do you hold it like a pencil like this, or do you hold it like a knife like this? Okay. Don't have a heart attack. You're doing the right thing. Keep going. Keep going. My fear is always having to rip out rows because rows and rows and rows because of one mistake. One of the advantages with this kind of blanket is because we start the row off, like look at all the ends, right? They get encased in the border. You don't have to weave them all in. Because you have to, you start like each row is a separate color. If you make a mistake, which I prefer to make mistakes at the end of rows, and this is why, if you made a mistake, say here, I wouldn't have to pull back the entire rows. I would just need to pull back each row to just sort of back past before the mistake, and then fix it up, finish those rows back off, and then come back and continue on. That's one of the things I love about mosaic. Now, the catch is if you make a mistake down here, then, yeah, you're pulling out entire rows. Pretty much. Oh, that was fast. And congratulations. It's only a few weeks away. That's awesome. Okay, let's have a look here. Knife hold, like a knife. Hold my hooks like a pencil, but Tunisian for the knife, like a knife for Leanne. She's tried to switch, but I always revert back. A pencil for Molly. Molly, it looks like we are the rarity, holding like a pencil. I used to hold like a knife, and then I had a friend was over. I'd been just crocheting very basically, very slowly for many years. I was not very good. I didn't enjoy it all that much, but I was making a blanket for Abby. She was about, I don't know, she was young. She would have been 1. And this friend's come over and she was watching me and I'm like, hang on, I'm like crocheting, like, whole arm is moving and like in and, like get, and it was just like, it was very laborious. And she's walked over me and whacked me in the back of the hand with a hook. She's like, this is horrible to watch. Here, do this. And she showed me pencil holding. And the second I did it, it clicked for me. It was just exactly like, and knife works better for some people and pencil works better for some people. And you do whatever works better for you because they're both correct. But for me, it was a game changer. It was like when I changed from English knitting to continental knitting, absolute game changer. Like I was making the right things and I was doing everything right, but it was able to speed up so much and just enjoy it more because I didn't feel like I was, taking 27,000 years to make anything except for this blanket. It's taking 27,000 years. Pencil and you roll it in your fingers. Yep. That's the way I learned. It was in a book, and that's the way I learned way back in 1977. Yep, pencil and continental. That's me as well. Yep. So those of you that knit that are here in the live chat, how do you knit? Are you a continental knitter or a combination knitter, Portuguese knitter? Like, what is your knitting style? English knitting? Like, I'm just curious. Chintami said I did pencil because it was comfy. Yep, that works. You got to do what's comfy. Leanne says, I really do think the pencil grip does make it faster for crocheting. Look, for me it does, but I don't know if it does for everybody. I've watched some amazing crocheters crochet at lightning speed using the knife grip. Jancy says, I both knit English and continental. Yep. If I'm doing color work, I'll have colors in each hand. But if for regular knitting where I'm not doing color work, it's just continental for me. Deb says I'm a thrower for knitting. So does that English thrower or continental's picking? So yeah, English is thrower. Sally says I'm a mirrored knitter, but not continental. But continental. Yep. I'm a knife hooker and an English knitter. Yep. Mainly English. Yeah, Dolores does the same as me, mainly English, but if you're doing color work, a color in each hand. Leanne says I'd be a real thrower in knitting because I don't actually knit. That's gold, Leanne. That's gold. Pencil for Bob. Awesome. Yep, just double checking I'm doing the right thing. Because it's like, when you're on a roll and you're like, hang on a second, I'm on a roll. Am I doing the wrong thing? Because we've been there. We've done that. We have the T-shirt. I don't know how to describe how you're holding. Well, if you can, pop a photo in the fun zone. So hold your hook and then take a photo of your hand, like whether it's like that or like this or however you're holding it. Just so, and then we can help you out in the chat. We can let you know which one we think it is. Leanne says, I think the freaky just came out of me then. I was wondering where freaky was. He's in Leanne. Gosh. Yeah. Continental with a bit of variation for purling. Yeah, there's some alternate purling methods for continental knitting, which I love. You can find one that really works for you. English, but try to do continental because it's supposed to be better for my joint pain. Ah, there you go. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I found that I was moving less things when I was continental. Ruth says, I want to learn continental. Ruth, I have a couple of great little beginner videos for continental knitting here on the channel. Like knitting for crocheters, I think I've called it, something along those lines. Continental knitting really feels like crocheting, except with 2 needles, which I know sounds so counterintuitive, but just trust me on that one. It's definitely worth a try. If you're a crocheter and you want to knit something, give continental knitting a try, because you're tensioning and you kind of pick your stitches like you use a hook, and you tension with your left hand, which is what most of us do with crochet. Not everybody, but most of us. Molly, have fun, as much fun as you can have. I hold crochet hooks like a knife, but close to the tip. I use my index finger to keep the yarn on the hook. Okay, I think I use tension to keep the yarn on the hook. Let me look. I use my finger on, not on the stitch that I'm working on, but on the others. Oh, maybe, oh, hang on. I'm just, you know, when you're doing something and then you realize, hang on a second, I am doing that. Yeah, my finger just taps off and on. It's not squishing it on or anything. It's just tapping gently off and on. I don't actually know what it's doing. It's probably just bored and just needs something to do. But it just automatically does it. I don't even think about it. It's muscles doing their thing. I have a DIY project this weekend from Rebecca Nelson. I'm doing a Lazy Kate till I'm able to afford one. You will love your Lazy Kate that you make, honestly. You really will. My dad made me one. Where is it? Oh, it's in a crate. Usually it's on the top of a bookshelf, but that bookshelf is not in this room anymore. It used to be there. And the Lazy Kate is up on the top of it, so I can get it up and down easily. There we go. Leanne has popped in the link. Knitting style for crocheters. Thank you, Leanne. So if you are a crocheter and you want to have a look at continental knitting, that's a good place to start. Fasting Keto Coach says, knitting is the one craft I've never been able to master. I just couldn't get the tension right. Yeah, tension is a practice thing. You know, it's different people need to tension differently. Like there's people who like do the full wrap the yarn around the hand thing. I can't do that. I don't like it. I just run it through my fingers. And that's enough tension for me. But different people like different things. And I think just keep trying different things until you find what works for you. As long as your stitches are how you want them and how, if you're following a pattern, how the pattern wants them, then you're doing it right. It doesn't matter how you do it to get there. I remember one time I was talking with a friend many years ago before I knew better. I need to say before I knew better. And I was trying to correct her knitting style. And she was happy with it. And it made her happy. And I was trying to fix it. And it was nothing needed fixing. And it was just because she knitted in a different way than I was used to. And I was trying to fix it. And I don't do that anymore. Unless someone's not happy with what they're getting, I don't try and fix it for them. Because if you're getting the stitches that you want and they're sitting how you want them to sit, then you are doing fine. The things that we learn and grow from, huh? I feel like a big meanie now. The big meanie knitting teacher. Nope, you're doing it wrong. That's wrong. I don't know if I probably did say that. I'm thinking, I don't know if I actually use those exact words, but probably. I don't do that anymore. I changed my style. Bob Curran, look at you. Continental knitting, English purling, and Portuguese in the car. Wow. That is a serious set of skills there. I can see how Portuguese works, but I've actually never tried it myself. Do you use the big pin or do you just throw the yarn over your shoulder? Ruth says, when I first started knitting, I was twisting my stitches. Oh, that's frustrating. Oops, what have I done there? I did the wrong thing. You worked out what you were doing? It was probably just knitting through the wrong leg by the sounds of it. I can knit, I just can't purl. You should have a look because, again, there's multiple purling methods. So you can find different ways to do things. And the knit that goes with, like, the knit that you're doing probably has a purl that most people do with it. See if you can find a different purl. There's so many options out there. You might be surprised. But most people can knit comfortably for a long time before they can purl comfortably. Francis says, I once turned up to an ukulele club and was told by someone I needed to strum using a different finger thumb. I told them I'd been doing this for 5 years and I was happy with how I'm doing it. Yeah, unless there's like a particular reason, like it means that you can do like another strum method because you've got a finger free that wasn't free, then it's like, shush, I'm enjoying this. And this is exactly what I say now as well. This is how I do it. Sally, why did I read that like Gollum? I can purl, but I hate sit. Oh, they thought you're a new beginner and you needed help. Well, I mean, ask the question. Yep, I was knitting the back loop instead of the first loop. I was 12 at the time. Yeah, you learnt, you worked it out, and now you're going like great guns. Yeah. Sally's laughing at me. Sally, you're laughing at me. You know how I get with that. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm just trying to think like today's plan. I really want today's plan to not be what the plan is. The plan I would like, right? I'm just getting comfy. Sorry, guys. The plan I would like is just to sit on the couch, binge watch something. I've actually started watching a series called Big Sky, which looks quite interesting. I'm about halfway through a first episode, and I had to finish it. I had to press pause. I had to go off and do something, but it's it looks like a murder mystery so far, which I love. But it's current, it's new. Season 1's out, and season 2 is out, I think, and it's got season 3 coming, and there's more coming. So I'm like, yeah, I'll invest myself in that one now because I know that there's more coming. Oh, I did it again. But I just like to do that and crochet for the day, and I'm like, I don't know if I can actually do that. I've got to go and, parent and pack orders and, stuff that's not sitting and crafting in front of the TV. Disappointing. So disappointing. Slow knitter. I think English, drop the needle to wrap your yarn around. Yeah, English. That sounds like English. Yeah. So, but yeah, so because with Continental, you don't need to because you don't drop the needles. You can just switch hands as well. You don't even have to sort of drop them to turn the yarn around. Random question. Okay, all right. You're talking about there's a little pair of scissors like under the box of what you're viewing. It's a YouTube feature. It's called Clips, and you can say something funny happens in a video. You can actually, if not everybody has it, it has to be enabled, but you can press the clip button and find the funny thing, and you can actually send put a start point and an end point. I think there's a maximum amount of time, but you can clip a little section and send that in it like a message or an email or even share it on socials and go check this out, it was hilarious or whatever, and put that in so that people will be sent directly to that section and it'll keep looping until they hit play again. Then they can watch the rest of the video. So it's there's another feature. So YouTube are trying to catch up with, so the clips feature is different. It's just to play a section over and over again. But there is another feature, I think it's in beta testing at the moment, where you can snip out a section of video and actually respond to it. And so you can put that bit of video in your video. I think it's just for shorts. It may not be just for shorts. But yeah, there's a couple of new features coming out. There's also the super thanks button, which you guys won't be able to see right now because you're in the live stream. But those people on the replay, they will be able to, they'll see like a little love heart with thanks written next to it. And it's just down where the thumbs up and all that sort of stuff is. And that's a way for like giving like a super thanks style thing when something's not live. So it could be, they can be on pre-recorded videos that were never live. They can be on live streams. And then you can click on it. It says thanks, but if you click on the thanks, you can type in whatever you want, like whatever comment you want. Choose your dollar amount that you want to give. And then in the comments area, that post is actually like fully highlighted. And like the actual creator gets an email going, someone sent you a super thanks. Like, so it's a special message that you get sent as well. So it's not even through the normal, processes of messaging that you turn off, because otherwise, it gets annoying. With like ping, 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 ping. Not so much for me, but for some of the, huge creators out there that get thousands of comments. I can't imagine getting an email every time one of those came in, but you do get the email every time a super thanks comes in. So that's pretty cool. They're pretty cool features that are coming. Super thanks is already here. Clips is here. And I think the respond thing is coming. I don't know if that's rolled out to everybody yet. So you can always click on things and then decide what you're going to do later. It normally gives you like an action you have to take, so you can have a play. Francis says, only 7 thumbs up and 39 watching. I've got 30 thumbs ups that I can see. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty all right with that. But, Sally has 31. I got 31 now. It just went up to 31. I tension my knitting differently to standing. So you tension differently if you're standing versus sitting, or am I misreading something here? Most knitters have the yarn coming over the index finger. I have mine coming under and then over. Let me think. I actually do what I do. I do exactly the same tension as it. So it comes under my hand and then over a finger. And I do the exact same thing. I tension the exact same way for knitting and crochet now. Might just be your screen. Oh, yeah, we're up to 33. You guys are awesome. We're up to 33. Champions. So, yeah. So, it's just we all tension differently. It obviously works for you, Josie. You do beautiful knitting. So it's just a different way to do it. 35. Sally, I'm with you as well. I can see 35 too. Francis says my iPad is crazy. iPads be crazy. Oh, dear. Yeah, iPads can, I love my iPad. I really didn't want anything Apple for such a long time. I wasn't a fan. I don't like their business model. I don't like how they do things. And then this iPad was just exactly what I needed. And now I'm actually looking at buying, saving for a long time. But the next laptop I buy will probably be a MacBook Pro. She says defeatedly. I don't know. Nettie says I just did a clip and you were repeating yourself over and over and over while live. I couldn't shut you up. Oh my gosh. Oh, Vanphy's got 37. I've only got 36. I feel gypped now. I feel gypped. Oh no, 37's just ticked over for me. I'm the same, very anti-Apple, but got the iPad Pro from music and it's so great. Yeah, I've got an iPad Air. And I love it. It's fantastic for so many different things. Sally's got 38. I don't have 38. I have 37. Maybe I'm behind now. We'll see if when it ticks over. Oh my gosh. Could really be like that one of my rant topics. Oh gosh. Yeah, maybe. Definitely an Apple girl except for my laptop. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I was very disappointed in sort of other than the last 2 years, the previous 5 or 6 years of Apple, that they were just taking ports away. They were taking away all their good stuff. Just, you know. Oh, okay. This is the difference. I was looking at the likes, not the live chats. I was looking at how many people had liked the video, not how many people are watching. Sorry. We're looking at different metrics. But yeah, I was just so disappointed. Like, they weren't really making anything new. They were just sort of, it felt to me money grubbing. But in the last couple of years, they have done some fantastic stuff. They brought back a lot of the stuff that I was miffed that they'd taken away. And they've really 10x'd the processing power of these things, which for me is the big thing. So I'm interested. My bank balance isn't. My bank balance totally not interested. I'm interested. What if Elon Musk buy them? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have any opinions on that topic. Yeah, you guys are trying. I'm not doing it, Knitspin girls. I'm not doing it. Because I know someone's just going to clip it and share it somewhere. Now that you all know how. Any channel that has the little clips, you can do that with as well. Each individual channel can allow or disallow it. So if they don't allow it, the clips just won't be there. The scissors just won't be there. Hubby, the IT dude, refuses to let Apple cross the threshold. Yeah, I definitely prefer what I can do in a PC and what I can, being able to change my own components. And that's the other thing Apple's recently done is self-repair is back. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't really have to make a decision. It's not like I can run out and buy anything. So, the 120 hertz refresh rate. I mean, any decent gaming laptop will have 120 hertz refresh rate. So, yeah. Unless you're talking about the iPads. I don't know what my iPad Air has. I'd have to read up. But I don't do anything on my iPad that requires that kind of refresh rate. I do on my laptop, though. Out of the 5 of us, only one has Android. In our household now, Abby's a total Apple girl, right? She just loves Apple. She's watch. She's got the phone. She's got the iPad. She's got my old laptop, so that's not an Apple. But Tim now has an iPhone because work supplied it, and I have an iPad. So Tim and I both have one Apple thing each. And it was so funny discussion here last night. Tim's like, Abby, how do I do this? She's like, oh my God, Dad, you're such a boomer. Like, Abby, none of us have used Apple. Just help him. She's like, why can't you help him, Mum? I'm like, I don't know how to use it either. I don't have an iPhone. iPad Pro should have the 120. I don't have an iPad Pro. I've got an iPad Air, so I don't know what I've got. I have to look it up. Uh-oh. Abby's just messaged me and I'm thinking, oh no, she's watching the live stream. She's going to get angry. She's just telling me that she's received that the parcel is here. Apparently there's a photo of it in our letterbox that she got sent to her. Like, that's not fair. Also, Louis, seriously, did you not even bark? Hey, you don't care. You don't care that someone came to the gate, do you? You're like, whatever. He didn't come to the door. Louis is just on the chair here. You can't see him. Oh, and you did. You made it to the end of the stream despite an extra long dentist appointment. Oh, no. Jancy, that's why. And me too. Knit Companion. Hello. Oh, dear. Off topic, I recently spun 4 skeins of yarn and dyed it. I don't like how any of the colours turned out. Oh, can you over dye them? Like, can you dye them again? Because that's disappointing, especially with hand spun. No guard dogging for Louis today. No, apparently not. Apparently he's on holidays. Yeah. Oh. If anyone's got any suggestions for Francis, all I can think of is over dyeing it. Linda from Dying Dream is suggesting dyeing it darker. One I could over dye, but the rest I'll have to use them for warp yarn. How come you can't over dye the rest, just out of curiosity? Like, you don't like them, but whatever they're meant for, they'll work? Is that what you mean? Or because it's a warp yarn, it'll mostly get covered anyway and it'll still look nice with the weft yarn? Yeah, I agree. You could always dye them black. Oh, it's too dark already. Yeah, you can't take color away, unfortunately. All you can do is add more color. Yeah. I tend to do a lot of my color dye testing on commercial yarns before I dye any of my hand spuns, because I always so stressed out about wrecking my hand spun. So, hey, we're nearly at the end of another row, you guys. Look at that. We got the 2 in. I was worried we wouldn't, because I'm going slow to make the purple yarn last longer. Josie's going to send a photo in the group. Awesome. That's good. All right, let me just. That was the last. Okay, yep, 1. 2, no, Chantel. You need 3 there. Then 1. It just feels so wrong doing the double into the double. And so my hands just keep trying to stop me. I usually dye in the microwave, but I'm just liking how it's turning out compared to the crock pot. Yeah, I don't dye in the microwave. I don't like it. There's no control. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jancy's yarn, my ready spin is here. It's just been delivered. Is it still scratchy? I remember I got some ready spin a few years back, like quite a few years back, and it was very scratchy and I didn't enjoy it. Josie says, I recently got a MacBook Air and I have been enjoying it. That is awesome. Good morning, Beer Sheba Yarn Farms. How you going, Wendy? You good? You busy? Hey? doing, because what you've got calving, no, not calving, what's it called? Lambing coming up soon, haven't you? All the lambings. All right, on to the next purple row. Flat out, lol. Well, I appreciate you finding a second to jump in and hang with us. I don't know. Does anyone know what's happening with the Ready Spin now they're no longer making rustic? I have no idea. If someone in the chat knows the answer to that, that would be good. Oh, lambing is in August. Why do I think you were doing something next week? I don't know. Game Widow says my next spin is some Beersheba. My current spin is Beersheba. Jancy says it seems soft, but I'll let you know. Because that's the thing. I got Ready Spin Rustic and I didn't like it. So maybe whatever they're using now for Ready Spin is not as coarse. I don't know. I'm curious now. Although I have to say, once you go Beersheba, you can't go back. Like glorious, delicious softness. Wait, Josie says I have 40 likes. I can only see 39. Maybe there's 40 coming. Woo! I'll be very excited. Game Winner says what rustic is finished. Yeah, you could buy rustic as a yarn. You don't have to buy it as ready spin or ready to spin. I think they're getting rid of the tweed, the rustic, and the ready spin. Oh, okay. It wasn't on there. So you got some of the last stuff. There we go. I see it. 40 likes and 40 concurrent viewers. 40. You guys are awesome. Thanks. I like it when it's symmetrical like that, so I appreciate that. I have to go up to the next row. 170. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Knit Spin Girl says that she's devastated because she loves rustic. I don't like rustic. I'm happy it's going. I'm happy. Oh, yeah. I'm not happy. I don't care. Woods for 40 out of 40. How cool is that? 40 and 41, Shintamani says. Someone's touched it. I'm not going to complain. I think that's amazing. Am I doing the right thing? Make sure I'm doing the right thing. It's like theme for the stream. Make sure you're doing the right thing. So it's 1, 2, then 1, then 1, then 1. Which Beersheba is your favorite to spin? I'm looking for something to spin. Francis, I just straight up love Castledale. The Duchess is really lovely. Don't get me wrong. It's so delicious, but I love the Castledale. Just love it. So yeah, I personally, I'll get a bit of each. If you're going to pay the postage, just grab one of each or a couple of each, but they're both amazing. But yeah, the Duchess has got a little bit of silk in it. So if you like silk, then that might be a winner for you. But I mean, I like silk, don't get me wrong, but I really like the Castledale on its own. Okay, so 1, 2, blip. Okay, 2s and 1s. What did you touched it? Oh, okay. Someone touched it again. It dropped from 41 down to 40. Someone unliked it. That's sad. You make me cry. I haven't tried Duchess, but Castledale is my absolute favorite of any fiber I have spun. I have to agree. I love it. Allison says, I loved my advent calendar from Beersheba. Those advent calendars are insane. I really wanted to get one last year, but I just couldn't do it. I'm going to try and get one this year if you're offering them, Wendy, just to throw that out there. Beersheba says, I'm currently knitting a shawl from some hand-spun Castledale. It's so squidgy. Oh, I love good squish. Good squish. 2. Yep, that's right. I'm just double checking that I'm doing it right. Still 41. Okay, someone else saying still 41. All right. I will believe you guys. My stuff might be a bit slow on this end. Oh, Wendy says that she's going to have it and have details out soon. I will make sure I share it with you guys, Fiberifians, because that is like to die for. Really, it's a spinner's thing. It's all fluffs. Totally delicious fluffs. Totally delicious. Love good fluffs. I don't know why I've sped up the crocheting. It's like I've got to finish this row, but I've only just started it. Advent calendars are starting to pop up. Been working on getting mine sorted. Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to see what you're going to have out either. So Stitch Marker Advent calendar from the Gamer Widows. Fluff's Advent calendar from Beersheba. Do we have any yarn dyeing friends that are going to be bringing out an Advent calendar for the yarnies in the group? We'll have to find out. Wendy, what is the micron of your Castledale? Oh, there we go. It's usually around 24. And I'm going to say something. It doesn't feel like it's 24. Like, it may measure at 24, but it is so soft. Like, yeah, to me, it feels like a beautiful 21 merino, but it's stronger, but it's not harsher. I don't know the best way to describe that. You just have to get some. You just have to get some and feel it for yourself. You'll understand what I mean. You'll get it. I think Melbourne City Dye Works might have a yarn. Oh, I'll have to have a chat. Find out. Nope. Don't know what goes into a calendar other than the yarn. So I actually want to get one for myself this year, maybe do something for next year. It's a big job. Doing up a advent. It's a huge undertaking because it's normally a lot of minis. Like a lot of minis. So yeah. Dolores says, I'm glad you said that, Chantel. I absolutely agree. It does not feel like a usual 24 micron. The handle is so much nicer. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's very soft, she says, looking lovingly at the fiber. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's definitely. Are there any advent calendar peeps that ship to the US? I don't know. I'm sure there are. I just don't know any off the top of my head. I know some of the Australian guys will ship to the US as long as you're willing to pay the additional postage. But not all, I'm aware. Okay. All righty, lords and ladies of the internet. The rain has caused some problems with the shearing. It's running late. Oh, that's not fun. They should all do. We can ship to the US. US can't ship to us. US can ship to us. It's just whether people want to do it is another question. Because I'm getting stuff shipped out of the US. but postage is a nightmare. Like, cost is expensive. Jency says, I've purchased an Advent this year, which has 20 minis and 400 grams, which I think is a lot easier to turn into something than 24 minis. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to diligently use up the ready spin fiber I bought from Bendigo Woolen Mills prior to finding Beersheba Farm, so that I can spin more Beersheba Farm guilt-free. Look, and I'm going to say this. Bendigo Woolen Mills is fine, right? They're fine. But Beersheba Farm supports an Australian farm that produces its fibers in Australia. They are processed in Australia, and then it supports Wendy and her family. And it, to me, that means more. Bendigo use Australian wool, and it is not scoured in Australia. It is shipped offshore and then brought back. So I love that Wendy uses Australian businesses for every step of the way, and they're all local to her. So it is, to me, it's a smaller carbon footprint. Obviously not if Wendy's shipping it to the US afterwards. But if you're in Australia and you're looking for Australian fibers, your first stop has to be Beersheba Farm. And even like I get a lot of it undyed because the color is creamy deliciousness, and I love that color. And if I want to dye it, I will. But I've also got some beautiful colors of Wendy's as well that are just amazing. So I'm biased. Wendy's a good friend, and I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. She's a good friend, and we've done lots of things together, and just. But it's because it's like, I love her business because it's beautiful, and how she does it is wonderful. And if you've ever caught any of Wendy's live streams with the sheep, they're so happy. Those sheepies are so happy. Maybe not this week, they're a bit damp, but they're very happy sheepies. As a spinner, I will never spin raw fine shorn in a drought. It was torture with so much crap in it. Wendy, it's going to depend on where you bought it from. Everyone's is different. Knit Spin Girl says, I haven't bought Bendigo's Ready Spin for years. The last one I spun and knitted into jumper peeled horrifically. Oh. Have I seen the story of a farm in Tassie? I'm sure there's lots of farms in Tassie. We'll have to narrow it down. We'd have to narrow it down. But yes, anyone would think that you love her stuff. I do love her stuff. Yeah. It's the same for the Fin fleeces I've purchased. She's localish. The fiber is lovely, and it supports her and her family. Yeah. And, like, you know what? Like, I don't want to bag Bendigo. I think what they're doing is great, but I just think Wendy's is just it's just better. You know, it's good and better. So yeah. Where are we? Oh, there you go. They shipped on a sailboat to Geelong. That's cute. I like that. I'll have to look into that. Okay, everybody, I've got to head off. It has been awesome. For those of you that are interested, there is an interview happening tomorrow on my live streaming channel. We've got Jeff Barch from Story Greenlight coming to be our guest. It starts at 9:30 our time, so it's a little bit earlier than usual. So those of you that are interested know how to find it. But I will see you all next week. Have an awesome, awesome day. Have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves. Keep well, and I'll see you next week. Bye.